Hi guys. Recently I was made an admin, one of the admins, of the UK Libertarian page on Facebook, which you can go and join down below. I gotta say, it's really great to have a lot of power all of a sudden. I've never really had so much power in my life. That shows you what life I have. But at the same time as having a lot of power, obviously it comes with a lot of responsibility. I've had a lot of fun inviting a load of people in, but whilst I can do that, I've also had a lot of possibilities to throw people out. So it brings the whole sort of libertarian zero censorship morality into question. A troll, you see, has basically infiltrated the page a few months ago and has been essentially spamming us for a load of shit, telling us we're wrong, even though we're constantly countering his arguments, and basically adding nothing of any value to the discussion whatsoever. And it's not like this is a debating page, where Marxists can debate anarchists and so on. It's a page, it's a UK libertarian discussion page. It's for UK libertarians to come together so they feel a bit less lonely. Because like I've said a million times, we're really lonely over here. Now regardless that it is a discussion page, I did have a bit of gulp in my stomach about actually removing him anyway. And see, it goes back to my history. I used to be a member of a similar page, but it was a debating page. It was basically, people power. People come together and they debate all these issues and whatsoever. What was great about that page was at first it started off really level playing field. You could say whatever you want, complete freedom of speech, no holes barred. But then it slowly, not actually slowly, very fast, over a course of a few months, maybe 2 or 3, it turned from really, really open page into, if you say something bad, you'll be banned, or you'll be censored, or whatever. And even one of the admins came out and said, if you say something that's in any way offensive, you will be banned, or you will be censored. Brilliant. And that's not something that I want the page to turn into. I don't want it to turn into, we are libertarians, we are against censorship, and we are for freedom of speech, like the liberals and the progressives tend to say, and then eventually follow the same analogy of the state and become more and more authoritarian. So to get an outside opinion on this, I went and spoke to one Mr. Larkin Rose, yep, the man himself, and I basically asked, what's your opinion on this, what should I do? And he said that he had a similar experience that happened on his Facebook page where, there's loads and loads of trolls came in and started spamming his page or, just saying things that just weren't adding to a discussion whatsoever. Who built the roads, who built the schools, who built the pyramids, etc. And basically his gut reaction was, get him out. You're adding nothing to the discussion, we don't want you here, go away. But then eventually he came to the conclusion of, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's the proper thing to do. And what was great was, in his case, what basically happened was the people on his page basically were like, yeah, okay, we're going to agree with you, and we're not going to feed the trolls. So what happened was, effectively, all the trolls were pushed out of the group, not by, the fist of man, but basically just by rational not going for people who aren't worth debating. I think that's bloody fantastic. Effectively ignore the trolls out of existence. And so I think it's a great show of dealing with adversity when you have all this power and yet you stand by your principles, my being non-aggression, zero censorship, freedom of speech, and never to compromise them simply for the sake of a few votes or just because it makes you feel better. Because if you do, the question is, when are you going to stop? Are you going to stop at this one, or are you going to keep on going down until you're basically Adolf Hitler? And so I've taken the non-violent approach and chosen to use my freedom not to speak, to ignore him whenever I think he's gone too far. And I hope that most of you libertarians out there will agree with me in that this is probably the best and most libertarian voluntarist solution whatsoever. And again, if you are from the UK and you are a libertarian and you want to come and join our gang, you can click on the description below and come and join. We'll be happy to have you. Thank you.